British royal family may exude class and elegance, but behind the gilded palace doors lies a treasure trove of secrets they'd rather keep hidden. From shocking scandals to bizarre traditions, these stories reveal a side of royalty most people never see. Or do they just not want you to know this, and it will be covered up? Stay with us as we uncover 50 of the most controversial, strange, and downright shocking secrets the royal family has kept under wraps. 1. Prince Andrew and Jeffrey Epstein. Prince Andrew, Duke of York, has faced one of the most damaging scandals in modern royal history due to his close association with convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. While Epstein's notorious crimes came to light years ago, Andrew's involvement became public knowledge after Virginia Giuffre accused him of sexually abusing her when she was just 17 years old. Giuffre alleged that she was trafficked by Epstein and forced into encounters with powerful men, including the Duke of York. Despite Andrew's public denials, evidence such as a widely circulated photograph of him with Giuffre and Epstein associate Ghislaine Maxwell raised serious doubts about his claims of innocence. The situation worsened in 2019 when Epstein died in custody under mysterious circumstances, leading to intensified scrutiny of his associates. In 2021, Giuffre filed a lawsuit against Prince Andrew in a U.S. court claiming damages for emotional distress caused by the alleged abuse. The case never reached trial, as Andrew settled out of court for an undisclosed sum, reportedly in the millions. The scandal led to severe repercussions for the prince's public life. Queen Elizabeth II stripped Andrew of his military titles and royal patronages, effectively sidelining him from official duties. The damage to his reputation also affected the wider royal family, with critics accusing them of attempting to shield Andrew from accountability. The controversy remains one of the darkest stains on the monarchy's modern history. 2. The Lost Prince. Prince John, the youngest son of King George V and Queen Mary, is often referred to as the Lost Prince due to his tragic and largely hidden life. Prince John suffered from severe epilepsy, a condition poorly understood at the time and stigmatized even within high society. To protect the royal family's public image, his illness was kept secret from the public. At age 11, John was moved to Wood Farm, a secluded residence on the Sandringham estate, where he was cared for by his devoted governess, Lala Bill, and a small group of trusted staff. His isolation was compounded by his learning difficulties, which further distanced him from his family's rigid expectations of royal life. Despite his health challenges, accounts suggest he was a cheerful child who enjoyed playing with local children and animals. Tragically, John passed away at the age of 13, following a severe seizure. The royal family released news of his death only after it occurred, sparking criticism that they had abandoned the young prince. His story has since been portrayed as emblematic of the era's attitude toward disability and mental health, where appearances often outweighed compassion. The shadow of his life lingers as a reminder of the personal costs of royal duty. 3. Queen Elizabeth's censored cousins. Nerissa and Catherine Bowes-Lyon, first cousins of Queen Elizabeth II, were hidden away from public view and institutionalized due to their intellectual disabilities. The two sisters, daughters of the Queen Mother's brother, were placed in the Royal Earlswood Asylum for mental defectives in 1941. The asylum, a Victorian-era institution, was infamous for its grim conditions, far removed from the luxury of royal life. In a shocking move, the sisters were declared dead in official records, even though they were very much alive. This falsehood was uncovered decades later, sparking outrage at the royal family's apparent attempt to erase the cousins from their history. Nerissa died in 1986 and Catherine in 2014, both having spent their lives in near-total anonymity, reportedly without visits from their royal relatives. The scandal came to light in the 1980s, raising questions about the royal family's treatment of vulnerable members. Critics argue that the decision to institutionalize and conceal Nerissa and Catherine was driven by a desire to maintain the monarchy's image of perfection. While the family later acknowledged the sisters, the incident remains a dark chapter in royal history. highlighting the sacrifices made to protect the crown's reputation at the expense of individuals' dignity. You probably thought by now that it couldn't get any worse. I promise you that as you watch this video, you will be more and more amazed. 4. King Charles III and Camilla Parker Bowles. The love story between King Charles III and Camilla Parker Bowles, now Queen Consort, has been one of the most controversial royal relationships of modern times. Their affair began in the early 1970s, long before Charles married Princess Diana. Despite their mutual affection, societal expectations, and royal protocols led Charles to wed Diana in what was hailed as a fairy tale union. Behind the scenes, however, the reality was far from idyllic. Charles and Camilla maintained their relationship throughout his marriage to Diana, a fact that Diana herself confirmed in her infamous 1995 BBC interview, stating, "There were 3 of us in this marriage." The revelation painted Charles as an unfaithful husband and cast Camilla as the proverbial other woman, igniting public outrage. The affair caused significant damage to the royal family's image, particularly after Diana's tragic death in 1997. It wasn't until 2005, after years of careful public relations efforts, that Charles and Camilla married in a low-key civil ceremony. While Camilla's role in the royal family has gradually gained acceptance, her past involvement in the breakdown of Charles and Diana's marriage remains a point of contention for many. Their relationship underscores the challenges of balancing personal happiness with the expectations of royal duty, a theme that has defined much of Charles's life. If you like the video until now, it would help me a lot if you like, comment, and subscribe. I barely make it with my retirement money, so it would help a lot. 5. Prince Harry's Nazi costume. In 2005, Prince Harry found himself at the center of a media firestorm after wearing a Nazi uniform to a friend's costume party. The event, themed colonials and natives, was controversial in itself, but Harry's choice of attire, including a swastika armband, drew widespread condemnation. A photograph of the then 20-year-old prince in the offensive costume splashed across tabloids, causing an international uproar. Harry quickly issued a public apology, calling the incident a poor choice of costume. However, the damage was done. Critics lambasted him for insensitivity, particularly given the monarchy's role during World War II and its association with anti-fascist efforts. The scandal prompted discussions about privilege, accountability, and the responsibilities of public figures. Years later, in his memoir Spare, Harry revealed that his brother, Prince William, and sister-in-law, Catherine, had encouraged him to wear the costume, adding a new layer of complexity to the incident. He described it as one of the biggest mistakes of his life. The Nazi costume scandal remains a blemish on Harry's record, serving as a cautionary tale about the scrutiny faced by members of the royal family and the consequences of poor decisions made in the public eye. 6. Princess Margaret's Forbidden Love. Princess Margaret, the younger sister of Queen Elizabeth II, was known for her glamorous lifestyle and rebellious spirit. However, one of the most poignant stories from her life revolves around her ill-fated love affair with Captain Peter Townsend. Townsend, a former Royal Air Force officer, was 16 years older than Margaret and had served as an equerry to King George VI. Their romance began when Margaret was just 22 years old. What made their love controversial was Townsend's status as a divorce, which clashed with the Church of England's strict stance on remarriage at the time. As Margaret was under 25, she required her sister, the Queen's consent to marry him. This put Elizabeth in a difficult position, as granting permission would have sparked a constitutional crisis. In 1955, after years of public speculation, Margaret announced she would not marry Townsend, stating she had decided to prioritize her royal duties. The decision reportedly left her heartbroken and marked a turning point in her life. Townsend later married another woman, while Margaret moved on to a tumultuous marriage with photographer Anthony Armstrong Jones, which ended in divorce. "Taja was good enough for you, ma'am," Armstrong Jones would say. Margaret's story highlights the immense personal sacrifices required of royals, particularly women, in balancing love and duty. It remains one of the most tragic love stories in royal history. Maybe this name doesn't say you a lot, but I promise we'll dive into more shocking and tragic detail about the royal family. 7. The betrayal of Tsar Nicholas II. The betrayal of Tsar Nicholas II by his cousin King George V is one of the most contentious episodes in royal history. As the Russian Revolution gained momentum in 1917, Tsar Nicholas and his family were deposed and placed under house arrest by the Bolsheviks. Initially, King George offered asylum to Nicholas, but he later withdrew the offer, fearing a public backlash in Britain during a time of political instability. This decision effectively sealed the fate of the Romanovs. In July 1918, Nicholas, his wife Alexandra, and their 5 children were brutally executed by the Bolsheviks. The royal family's murders shocked the world and marked the end of the Russian Empire. Historians have debated George's role in the Romanovs' demise. Some argue he had little choice, given the anti-monarchical sentiment brewing in Britain, while others believe his actions were motivated by self-preservation. George's private secretary, Lord Stamfordham, reportedly advised against aiding the Romanovs, fearing it would fuel Republican movements in the UK. The betrayal has left a stain on George V's legacy, with critics accusing him of prioritizing his throne over family loyalty. It serves as a stark reminder of the difficult decisions monarchs must make in times of crisis, often at the expense of personal relationships. 8. Prince Philip's alleged affairs. Prince Philip, the Duke of Edinburgh and husband to Queen Elizabeth II, was often the subject of rumors about alleged infidelities during his marriage. Although there is no concrete evidence to support these claims, whispers of his supposed affairs persisted throughout his life, casting a shadow over his otherwise dutiful role as consort. One of the most notable rumors involved Pat Kirkwood, a celebrated stage actress. Philip and Kirkwood were spotted dining and dancing together in the 1940s, leading to speculation about the nature of their relationship. Kirkwood always denied any romantic involvement, but the media frenzy surrounding the incident damaged her career. Another persistent rumor linked Philip to a Greek cabaret star named Hélène Corday. Corday, a lifelong friend of the Duke, had 2 children while separated from her husband, sparking speculation that Philip might have been their father. Philip, however, served only as the children's godfather and provided financial support for their education. Despite these allegations, Queen Elizabeth II and Prince Philip maintained a strong and enduring partnership for over 70 years. Philip's cheeky response to the rumors, pointing out the impossibility of such escapades given his constant police presence, reflected his dismissive attitude toward the speculation. Nevertheless, the rumors remain part of the complex narrative surrounding his life. 9. The Jack the Ripper theory. One of the most enduring conspiracy theories surrounding the British royal family links Prince Albert Victor, Duke of Clarence and grandson of Queen Victoria, to the infamous Jack the Ripper murders. Jack the Ripper was an unidentified individual who caused fear in the Whitechapel district of London in 1888. He was linked to at least 5 incidents where women lost their lives under tragic and unusual circumstances. These girls were often girls you could hire for male pleasure. The authorities received letters, including one signed Jack the Ripper, which added to the mystery surrounding the case. Despite thorough investigations, the true identity of the person responsible was never discovered. Even today, the case remains one of history's most well-known and puzzling mysteries. The theory, which emerged decades after the Ripper killings of 1818, alleges that Albert Victor's erratic behavior and mental health issues made him a prime suspect. Albert Victor, often called Edie by family and friends, was known for his privileged yet troubled life. Reports of his alleged promiscuity and association with scandalous figures only added fuel to the theory. Dr. Thomas Stoll popularized the claim in a 1970 article, suggesting Edie contracted syphilis during a visit to the West Indies, which allegedly drove him insane and compelled him to commit the murders. However, historians and criminologists have debunked this theory, pointing out that Edie had alibis for the nights of the murders and no concrete evidence links him to the crimes. Moreover, his family and close associates vehemently denied these allegations. While the Jack the Ripper theory remains a tantalizing story, it is widely regarded as a baseless conspiracy. Nevertheless, it reflects the public's fascination with the royal family and the darker, mysterious aspects of their history. 10. Sarah Ferguson's toe-sucking scandal. In 1992, Sarah Ferguson, affectionately known as Fergie, became the center of one of the most embarrassing scandals to hit the royal family. Having separated from Prince Andrew earlier that year, she was photographed on holiday in Saint-Tropez with American financial advisor John Bryan. What made headlines worldwide, however, was the photograph of Bryan kissing and sucking on Fergie's toes. The images splashed across tabloids caused a media frenzy and deeply embarrassed the royal family. The timing was particularly damaging as Fergie was still technically part of the monarchy. The scandal led to widespread criticism of her behavior, with many accusing her of tarnishing the royal image. The incident marked the beginning of Fergie's strained relationship with the royal family, though they maintained a surprisingly close bond afterward. Fergie's financial troubles and other controversies over the years further alienated her from the royals. Despite the humiliation, Fergie has since managed to carve out a public image as an author and philanthropist. However, the toe-sucking scandal remains one of the most memorable and bizarre episodes in the history of royal controversies, underscoring the intense scrutiny faced by anyone associated with the monarchy. 11. Queen Elizabeth's delayed response to the Aberfan disaster. In October 1966, a catastrophic coal spoil tip collapse in Aberfan, Wales, killed 144 people, including 116 children. The tragedy devastated the small mining village and attracted widespread attention, but Queen Elizabeth II's delayed visit to the scene sparked criticism. While Prince Philip arrived shortly after the disaster, the Queen did not visit Aberfan until 8 days later. The decision to delay her visit was reportedly influenced by advice from her courtiers, who believed her presence might distract from the rescue and recovery efforts. However, the public viewed her hesitation as a lack of compassion, leading to a rare misstep in her otherwise well-regarded reign. When she finally arrived, the Queen's somber demeanor and heartfelt interactions with grieving families began to repair the monarchy's image. In later years, she admitted that her delayed response was one of her greatest regrets. The Aberfan disaster remains a poignant reminder of the Queen's sometimes difficult balancing act between maintaining decorum and responding to public expectations. 12. The Kohinoor Diamond Controversy. The Kohinoor diamond, one of the most famous gems in the crown jewels, has a long and contentious history tied to British colonialism. Originally from India, the diamond was taken by the British in the mid-19th century and presented to Queen Victoria after the annexation of the Punjab. It has since been set into various royal crowns, most recently that of Queen Elizabeth, the Queen Mother. The Kohinoor's acquisition is viewed by many as a symbol of imperial exploitation. Multiple countries, including India, Pakistan, and Afghanistan, have laid claim to the diamond, demanding its return as a matter of national pride. The British government, however, maintains that its ownership is legitimate under the terms of the Treaty of Lahore. The controversy surrounding the Kohinoor continues to cast a shadow over the royal family's role in preserving colonial artifacts. While the gem remains a dazzling centerpiece in the crown jewels, its presence is a stark reminder of the complex and often troubling legacy of the British Empire. 13. Prince George, Duke of Kent's scandalous life. Prince George, Duke of Kent, was known as one of the most glamorous and controversial royals of his time. As the younger brother of King George VI, Prince George's charm and good looks made him a popular figure in high society. However, his life was marked by scandal, including allegations of drug use, bisexuality, and numerous affairs. George's rumored relationships with both men and women included Argentine socialite Jorge Ferrara and British black singer Florence Mills. He was also linked to Kiki Preston, nicknamed the Girl with the Silver Syringe, who reportedly introduced him to cocaine and morphine. Despite his wild reputation, George eventually married Princess Marina of Greece and Denmark, with whom he had 3 children. Tragically, his life was cut short when he died in a plane crash during World War II. The circumstances of his death remain shrouded in mystery, with conspiracy theories suggesting foul play. Prince George's life exemplifies the duality of royal existence, a mix of privilege, personal struggles, and public scrutiny. 14. King Edward VIII's Nazi connections. King Edward VIII's short reign and abdication for Wallis Simpson are infamous, but his alleged Nazi sympathies are among the most controversial aspects of his legacy. After stepping down in 1936, Edward and Simpson embarked on a tour of Nazi Germany in 1937, where they met Adolf Hitler. Photographs of their meeting showed the Duke and Duchess of Windsor in cordial conversation with the dictator. The visit fueled suspicions about Edward's political leanings, with many suggesting he harbored pro-German sentiments. Declassified documents later revealed that Nazi officials viewed Edward as a potential ally who could be restored to the throne in the event of a German victory. Edward's ties to Nazi Germany have cast a long shadow over his legacy. While some argue that his actions were simply a diplomatic blunder, others see them as evidence of a more troubling ideology. Regardless of intent, his Nazi associations remain one of the darkest chapters ever. 15. Prince Harry's confession to drug use. In a rare and candid admission, Prince Harry revealed that he struggled with drug and alcohol abuse during his teenage years and early adulthood. Speaking openly about his grief after the death of his mother, Princess Diana, Harry admitted that he turned to substances as a way to numb the pain. At 17, Harry was reportedly caught using cannabis and drinking alcohol at Highgrove, his father's estate. King Charles, then Prince of Wales, responded by sending Harry to a rehabilitation center for a day, where he spoke with recovering addicts about the consequences of substance abuse. Though he didn't stay for treatment, the experience was described as an eye-opener for the young prince. In his memoir Spare, Harry later detailed additional incidents, including experimenting with cocaine and psychedelics. He explained that these experiences were part of his personal journey to cope with trauma and find peace. Harry's openness about his struggles has been praised for breaking the royal tradition of maintaining a stoic public facade. His candidness has helped destigmatize conversations around mental health and addiction, resonating with a younger generation of royal watchers. 16. Princess Anne's violent dogs. Princess Anne is the only member of the British royal family to have a criminal record, stemming from an incident involving her poorly trained English bull terriers. In 2002, one of her dogs, Dottie, attacked 2 children in Windsor Great Park, biting one on the collarbone and the other on the leg. Anne pleaded guilty in court and was fined PS 500, becoming the first royal convicted of a criminal offense. This wasn't an isolated incident. In 2003, another of Anne's dogs, Florence, attacked one of Queen Elizabeth II's beloved corgis at Sandringham. The injuries were so severe that the corgi had to be put down. These incidents sparked widespread criticism of Anne's apparent inability to control her pets, especially given their dangerous behavior. Despite these controversies, Anne remains a respected royal for her hard-working reputation and down-to-earth demeanor. However, her dog's actions have left an indelible mark on her public image, serving as a reminder that even royals are not above the law when it comes to public safety. 17. Zara Phillips and the dwarf-tossing scandal. Zara Phillips, the granddaughter of Queen Elizabeth II, has largely stayed out of the spotlight compared to other royals. However, her husband, former rugby player Mike Tindall, found himself embroiled in controversy during a 2011 trip to New Zealand. While celebrating with the English rugby team after a victory, Tindall attended a bar known for dwarf tossing, a controversial and offensive activity. Reports surfaced that Tindall and other players had participated in the event, leading to significant public backlash. Though Tyndall later denied taking part, the incident tarnished his reputation and embarrassed the royal family. The controversy highlighted the challenges faced by non-royal spouses adapting to the intense scrutiny that comes with marrying into the monarchy. Zara and Mike have since managed to maintain a relatively low profile, focusing on their family and professional endeavors. However, the dwarf-tossing scandal remains a blemish on their otherwise quiet royal connection, illustrating how even peripheral members of the royal circle can attract unwanted attention. Number 18. King Charles III's affair with Camilla Parker Bowles. While the love affair between King Charles III and Camilla Parker Bowles is now widely accepted, it was once one of the royal family's most significant scandals. Their relationship began in the early 1970s, long before Charles married Diana Spencer. However, societal expectations and royal traditions pushed Charles into a marriage with Diana, which he later admitted was a mistake. The affair continued during Charles and Diana's marriage, with Diana famously stating in her 1995 interview, "There were 3 of us in this marriage." Public opinion of Camilla was overwhelmingly negative, and she was vilified as the other woman who had destroyed a fairy tale union. After Diana's tragic death in 1997, Charles and Camilla slowly reintroduced their relationship to the public. In 2005, they married in a low-key civil ceremony, signaling a new chapter for the monarchy. While Camilla has since gained acceptance as queen consort, her past remains a contentious topic. The affair symbolizes the struggles of modernizing royal traditions in the face of personal desires and public scrutiny. 19. The Queen Mother's alleged racism. The Queen Mother, known for her charm and warmth, has also been accused of harboring prejudiced views. In private, she reportedly made racially insensitive remarks that reflected the era's colonial attitudes. For instance, insiders claimed she referred to people of color in derogatory terms, perpetuating stereotypes common among the British aristocracy. While such allegations remain anecdotal, they underscore the monarchy's historical entanglement with colonialism and imperialism. As a figurehead during the height of the British Empire, the Queen Mother's views were shaped by a system that often dehumanized those in colonized territories. Critics argue that her alleged comments reflect a broader issue within the royal family's legacy. Calls for the monarchy to confront its colonial past have grown louder in recent years, with activists demanding apologies and reparations. The Queen Mother's reported remarks serve as a stark reminder of the prejudices that once dominated royal circles and the ongoing challenges of addressing them in a modern context. 21. The Mystery of the Princes in the Tower. The story of the Princes in the Tower is one of England's greatest historical mysteries. Edward V, aged 12, and his younger brother Richard of Shrewsbury were placed in the Tower of London by their uncle, Richard, Duke of Gloucester. Officially, they were there to prepare for Edward's coronation. Their uncle declared himself King Richard III, sparking widespread rumors that he had the boys murdered to secure the throne. Over the centuries, theories about their fate have ranged from assassination on Richard's orders to survival under assumed identities. In 1674, skeletons believed to belong to the princes were discovered in the tower, but their identities were never conclusively confirmed. The mystery has endured as a symbol of royal intrigue and betrayal. While some historians argue Richard III was unjustly accused, the lack of evidence ensures the debate continues. The tragic tale remains a haunting reminder of the brutal power struggles that defined medieval monarchy. 22. Prince Harry's tell-all memoir. Prince Harry's 2023 memoir, Spare, revealed startling details about his life as a royal, further straining his relationship with the royal family. In the book, Harry recounted personal struggles, including conflicts with his brother Prince William and feelings of isolation within the monarchy. One of the most shocking claims was Harry's account of a physical altercation with William, which he said occurred during a heated argument about Meghan Markle. Harry also shared details of his mental health battles, his military service, and his struggle to reconcile his public duties with his private desires. The memoir was praised by some for its honesty and criticized by others for airing the family's dirty laundry. The book amplified existing tensions between Harry and the royal family, with many questioning whether reconciliation is possible. While Spare provided a rare, unfiltered look at royal life, it also deepened the divide between Harry's new life in America and the traditions he left behind. Princess Diana's secret tapes. Secret recordings of Princess Diana revealed her struggles within the royal family and her troubled marriage to Prince Charles. These tapes, recorded by Diana's voice coach and later released in Andrew Morton's book Diana, Her True Story, offered an unfiltered glimpse into her life. Diana spoke candidly about her battle with bulimia, her feelings of rejection, and the emotional toll of Charles's affair with Camilla Parker Bowles. She also described her sense of isolation within the royal household and her desire to break free from its constraints. The release of these tapes shocked the world and damaged the monarchy's reputation, painting a stark contrast to its carefully curated public image. Diana's revelations humanized her in the eyes of the public, but also exposed the deep fractures within the royal institution. Her bravery in sharing her story has since been seen as a pivotal moment in the monarchy's modern history. Prince Andrew's financial misconduct. Beyond the scandal surrounding his association with Jeffrey Epstein, Prince Andrew has faced accusations of financial impropriety. In recent years, reports have emerged about his questionable dealings with foreign business figures, including accepting large sums of money for undefined services. One of the most controversial instances involved a $1,300,000 payment from a Turkish businessman, which raised questions about Andrew's use of his royal connections for personal gain. His sale of a mansion to a Kazakh oligarch for an inflated price also drew scrutiny, with allegations of unethical. While Andrew has denied wrongdoing, these financial controversies have further damaged his reputation. Critics argue that his actions reflect a misuse of his position, undermining public trust in the royal family. The accusations have only added to the already significant cloud hanging over Andrew's role within the monarchy, making him one of the most controversial royals in modern history. The Queen's hidden wealth. Despite being one of the wealthiest women in the world, Queen Elizabeth II's exact net worth has always been shrouded in mystery. The royal family's finances are complex, with income derived from multiple sources, including the Crown Estate, the Duchy of Lancaster, and personal investments. The Queen herself owned a vast portfolio of properties, jewels, and artworks, many of which are passed down through generations. Critics have questioned the lack of transparency surrounding royal wealth, particularly given that British taxpayers contribute to the sovereign grant, which funds the monarchy's official duties. While some assets, such as the crown jewels, are considered state property, others, like Balmoral Castle and Sandringham Estate, are privately owned by the family. The secrecy around royal wealth has sparked debate over the monarchy's role in modern society and its financial accountability. Calls for greater transparency have grown louder, especially in light of economic challenges faced by the UK, raising questions about the monarchy's privilege in an increasingly egalitarian world. Prince Philip's controversial comments. Throughout his life, Prince Philip, Duke of Edinburgh, was known for his off-the-cuff remarks, many of which sparked controversy. While some viewed his comments as humorous, others saw them as insensitive and reflective of outdated attitudes. One of his most infamous remarks occurred during a visit to China in 1986, where he told British students, "If you stay here much longer, you'll all be slitty-eyed." Philip's comments extended to other cultural groups as well. During a visit to Australia, he asked an Aboriginal leader, "Do you still throw spears at each other?" These remarks, while perhaps intended as jokes, were widely criticized as racially insensitive and offensive. Despite the backlash, Philip rarely apologized, maintaining that his remarks were misunderstood. While many appreciated his sense of humor and candidness, his comments remain a controversial aspect of his legacy. They also highlight the challenges faced by the monarchy in navigating cultural sensitivities in a globalized world. The Princes and the Nazi Salute. In 2015, a shocking video surfaced showing a young Queen Elizabeth II, her mother, and her uncle, Edward VIII, performing a Nazi salute in 1933 DH. The footage, published by The Sun, was reportedly taken at Balmoral Castle when the Queen was just 7 years old. While the act was dismissed as innocent play, it reignited criticism of Edward VIII's well-documented sympathies for Adolf Hitler and Nazi Germany. The video raised uncomfortable questions about the royal family's attitudes during a period when Europe was on the brink of war. Edward, who abdicated the throne in 1936, had openly admired Hitler and visited Germany with Wallace Simpson in 1937. His actions remain one of the most controversial chapters in royal history. While the Queen's role in the video is widely seen as a child imitating adults, the footage highlighted the importance of historical context. It also underscored the scrutiny faced by the royal family, even for events that occurred nearly a century ago. 29. Royal family and Diana's death conspiracy theories. The tragic death of Princess Diana in 1997 shocked the world, but it also gave rise to numerous conspiracy theories. Diana died in a car crash in Paris alongside her partner Dodi Fayed while being pursued by paparazzi. Official investigations attributed the crash to the driver's intoxication and reckless driving, but many believe there was more to the story. Dodi's father, Mohammed Al-Fayed, has been one of the most vocal proponents of conspiracy theories, alleging that the royal family orchestrated the crash to prevent Diana from marrying a Muslim man. Others speculate that Diana's increasing independence and outspoken nature made her a target. Despite exhaustive investigations, including an inquest by the British authorities, no evidence of foul play has been found. However, the theories persist, fueled by inconsistencies in the official account and Diana's own comments about feeling unsafe shortly before her death. The controversy surrounding her death continues to haunt the royal family, adding to Diana's enduring legacy. 30. In a groundbreaking 2021 interview with Oprah Winfrey, Meghan Markle and Prince Harry made shocking claims about their treatment within the royal family. Meghan revealed that, during her pregnancy with their son Archie, there were concerns and conversations about the baby's potential skin color. While she did not name the person involved, the allegation of racism caused a media firestorm. Meghan also spoke about her struggles with mental health, stating that she felt unsupported by the institution and even contemplated suicide. Harry echoed her sentiments, expressing his disappointment with how his family handled their concerns. The royal family issued a statement saying the allegations were concerning and would be addressed privately. However, the interview deepened divisions between Harry and Meghan and the rest of the royal family, fueling debates about race, privilege, and accountability. The controversy has had lasting implications for the monarchy, challenging its image in a modern, multicultural Britain and sparking discussions about its relevance in the 21st century. 31. Prince Charles and the Black Spider. Memos. Prince Charles, now King Charles III, has long been criticized for his involvement in political matters, particularly through his Black Spider memos. These handwritten letters, nicknamed for his distinctive handwriting, were sent to government ministers over several years, advocating for issues close to his heart, including agriculture, architecture, and alternative medicine. Viodeo, Paulos Vede. The release of the letters in 2015, under a Freedom of Information request, revealed the extent of Charles's lobbying efforts. Critics argued that his actions blurred the line between the monarchy's traditionally apolitical role and political advocacy. Supporters, however, claimed the letters demonstrated Charles's passion and deep concern for public issues. The controversy highlighted broader debates about the role of the monarchy in modern governance. While the letters did not violate constitutional norms, they raised questions about the influence royals wield behind the scenes. Charles's actions continue to shape discussions about how monarchs and heirs should navigate their responsibilities in a democratic society. 32. The hidden story of Prince George's death. Prince George, Duke of Kent, was a younger brother of King George VI and known for his glamorous and controversial life. His untimely death in 1942 in a mysterious plane crash during World War II has fueled speculation and conspiracy theories for decades. George was on a military mission when the aircraft he was traveling in crashed in Scotland, killing all but one of the crew. Some theorists allege that George's death was not accidental. Rumors suggest he may have been assassinated due to his alleged involvement in espionage or because of his controversial lifestyle, which included rumored relationships with both men and women and alleged drug use. However, official accounts attribute the crash to pilot error. The lack of detailed investigation into the crash has kept speculation alive, with some viewing George's death as a deliberate cover-up. While the truth remains elusive, the mystery surrounding his final moments continues to intrigue historians and royal watchers alike. 33. Queen Victoria's opium use. Queen Victoria, often depicted as a symbol of propriety and restraint, is believed to have used opium-based tinctures, a common remedy in the 19th century. Medical records and accounts from the time suggest that she used laudanum, an opium-based medication, to alleviate pain, including during childbirth and for menstrual cramps. And by the end of the century, while such treatments were widely accepted at the time, modern perceptions of opium and its addictive properties cast this habit in a different light. Victoria's use of the drug highlights the differences in medical practices between her era and today. It also underscores the personal vulnerabilities of even the most revered monarch. The revelation of Victoria's opium use humanizes her, showing that she, like her subjects, relied on the medical remedies available at the time. However, it also serves as a reminder of the evolving understanding of medicine and the hidden struggles of those who shaped history. 34. Edward VII and the scandal of the Playboy King. Before becoming king, Edward VII, the eldest son of Queen Victoria, earned a reputation as the Playboy Prince due to his numerous affairs and hedonistic lifestyle. Edward's extramarital relationships were an open secret, with mistresses including socialite Alice Keppel, great-grandmother of Camilla Parker Bowles. Edward's behavior caused significant strain within the royal family and scandalized Victorian society. His mother, Queen Victoria, openly disapproved of his lifestyle, blaming him for the premature death of his wife, Princess Alexandra, due to the stress caused by his infidelities. Despite his personal scandals, Edward's reign 19011910 was marked by diplomatic successes and modernization of the monarchy. However, his personal life remains a controversial aspect of his legacy, serving as a reminder of the complexities of balancing personal desires with the responsibilities of royal life. 35. Prince Harry's Magic Mushroom Confession. In his memoir Spare, Prince Harry revealed that he experimented with psychedelic drugs, including magic mushrooms, as part of his journey to cope with personal trauma. He described one particular experience at a celebrity's house in California, where he consumed mushrooms and hallucinated about a trash bin turning into a talking head. Harry's confession was both shocking and relatable to many, as it highlighted his struggles with mental health and grief over the death of his mother, Princess Diana. He explained that these experiences helped him gain perspective and clarity during a tumultuous time in his life. While some praised Harry for his honesty and openness, others criticized him for glamorizing drug use.